Hello, I'm Alabama Governor Kay Ivey, and I'm here today to clear up some of the confusion about our recently passed abortion ban. While it's true we've banned abortions during the first 9 months of pregnancy, we actually do allow termination following the 9th month through a variety of postnatal abortion offerings, from school shootings to poor education. Alabama's abortion bill broadens the scope of heartbeat bills that have already passed in Ohio, Georgia, and Missouri. And just like those states, we provide many safe, non-hormonal options for postnatal abortion. For women living in rural areas, we offer the lack of accessible hospitals. I campaigned against Medicaid expansion in my last election. If waiting for your local hospital to close, as 13 of ours have in the past 8 years, seems like too long of a wait, we offer several fast-track solutions. Just not faster than 9 months. In our opioid fast track, we'll give your newborn a cute koala-shaped fentanyl lollipop to suck on that gets them hooked young. Tastes like Alabama. More opioids get prescribed here than our state's population, so you'll have much better access to this form of abortion than getting to one of the 2 Planned Parenthoods still open in the state. There were over 20 abortion clinics open in Alabama in the 90s, but now there are only 3. Another great example of the incredible strides we're making to move away from prenatal abortions towards more postnatal abortions. As the birthplace of many notable African Americans, and the host state of the civil rights landmark Selma to Montgomery marches, we are proud to combat racism, no matter which side we're on.
All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to Dixieland the Proletariat. We're going to talk about Southern working class history and current events through a leftist perspective. Make sure to like us on social media at Dixieland the Proletariat, or find all of our links at linktree/.prol, DOT-prol, where if you want to give your wages to a bunch of rednecks, you can find a link to our Patreon. We got some cool stuff to give you, including CDs, stickers, a cookbook, Discord server, Twitch stream, and exclusive episodes. We also have a Spotify playlist with some great artists you also check out, as well as our merch store. This podcast is brought to you by Contractional Monogamy, Therapy, Vaping, Living at Home, Arby's, Kaiser Pushing White Men in the Swamps, Tommy's Non-Tactical Use of the N-Word, Nelson's Love Life, Tyler's Hiatus, and Mark's Laughter, which brings joy to the masses, and whoever leaked that draft majority opinion. Shout out to our new Patreon subscribers, Comrade Rev, Venture X, and the People's Commissar of Production. Our monthly Patreon surplus goes to groups that are run by and or help marginalized people directly. As always, not knowing why I'm still here is Nelson, and I'm my co-hosts. Do you think it's been a while?
And this is 1 month on T, Mark. That's this this marker with the voice, which doesn't sound any different, I'm sure.
Sounds way deeper.
Sounds deeper.
You don't have to lie to me. It's all right.
You sound like Isaac Hayes.
Hey.
That's a reference.
Come on, keep rolling. Come on.
Keep rolling. We know it's a clusterfuck. We got the predictions. The man with all the predictions.
He's just awkwardly eating his dinner.
Shoving food into his mouth.
I just got the fuck off work, okay? Like, I'm hungry.
You were home all day. Your work from home job just got off.
Go fuck yourself, all right?
He had to fight through rush hour traffic.
I got shit to do.
All right, anyway, Kai, go ahead.
I'm barely here. When was the last time we had an actual show with like an intro and everything?
I don't know.
Got through an intro without this? Yeah.
Oh,
never.
Please. I've been on the show for 1.5 years now, and we have never gotten through this like cleanly.
We got to have some dramatic music for Tommy.
Whatever. I do. Before we get started, there was just announced an allegation against Elon Musk.
No.
Trigger warning at first, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, kind of. Well, trigger warning. Kind of. Okay. So
For
Elon
SA,
Musk sucks.
right?
well, kind of. Okay. So apparently,
No, not kind of. Yeah.
do you know what it is?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know. Okay. Well, yeah. So basically,
Anyway, Tommy's here.
This is in After Dark. Let's go.
So basically, he exposed himself to a flight attendant.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and yeah. So that's happening.
And our guest this evening is the one and only.
Oh, she's gone.
Mia
What?
laughed.
I didn't. What? No, I didn't leave. I just
No.
put myself on mute. I didn't know
No.
when this was going to start.
Sorry. We're rusty. We're knocking off the rust. But yeah, you want to go ahead. You want to introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Sure. My name is Mia Raven. I run the Powerhouse in Montgomery, Alabama. I am the Alabama abortion lady, or so I'm told. And I also work in the clinic at Reproductive Health Services, Montgomery's only abortion clinic and the oldest abortion clinic in the state of Alabama.
Yay!
We love the Alabama abortion lady.
And since the topic we're talking about is fluid and changes every day, this is May 20th. So we're recording this on May 20th.
Yes.
So if some shit comes out before this comes out, this has all happened May up into May 20th.
That's correct, because shit is changing every day. I don't know if you guys have seen, Oklahoma has now, as soon as their governor signs the bill, they passed it yesterday through their legislature. It was ban abortion at the quote moment of fertilization at conception. So we are waiting for the governor of Oklahoma to sign that bill, and it will be the most extreme abortion ban in the United States before we get this shitty leaked opinion.
How do you even scientifically pinpoint quote unquote conception?
Jesus.
You don't.
Is it at the point?
You don't.
Is it at the point that the cell splits? Like the first time it splits,
It's when Jesus
you said
inhabits that fetus and breathes life.
See, right? Kai said scientifically, and Tommy said it's Jesus.
Jesus is all the signs you need. Jesus is all the signs you need.
In Oklahoma, that's the answer. Jesus.
Hallelujah.
There is no science happening. So we're currently questioning if this ban will ban IUDs. Will it ban hormonal birth control? Will it ban any kind of birth control except for barrier methods? These are things that very high paid attorneys are looking into right now, because what happens when this governor, and I'm really shocked that he did not sign this today, when he signs this bill, it will ban Oklahoma forever for any kind of abortion, not even a 6-week ban like Texas has. So people who live in Texas, that's one of the states they have been going to because it's closer to where they live. So that's going to cut off not only Oklahomans' access to abortion, but the people who are traveling from Texas to get abortion care in Oklahoma. It's really going to impact the people who still allow abortion in the Midwest and even into the Southeast. I don't think a lot of people realize that when you have a big state like Texas, and that whole population of Texas has to go somewhere to get abortion care that they cannot get in their home state, they end up going to like New Mexico, Kansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas. And when that happens and you have that huge population of Texas trying to find abortion care, it overruns clinics in surrounding states. I personally can say that I have seen in Montgomery, Alabama, people from Texas, and I have also seen people from Louisiana and Mississippi who cannot get into their home clinics. There are only 3 clinics in Louisiana, one in Mississippi, when people who live in those states cannot get into their own home clinics because of the people from Texas coming over, they don't have a lot of places they can go. I've seen Texas tags, I've seen Louisiana tags, I've seen Mississippi tags, I've seen Georgia tags. It's even overrunning Georgia at this point. And that's something I don't think a lot of people realize, that when one clinic goes down, just one clinic, we're not even talking about a whole entire state, just one clinic can force over a domino that we feel all the way into like Alabama and Georgia and Florida.
Like, what does this mean for like Roe v. Wade, Planned Parenthood v. Casey? Like, if this draft amendment, if this draft goes into and becomes a ruling at the end of June, like, what does this mean for abortion access in the United States? Because there's not a lot of people that probably remember pre-Roe. So like, what's is it going to go back to that? Like, what's going to happen? Like, I guess what? Because I think we all know how we got here. This is like it's been 50 years that the religious right has been hammering at this to try and strike it down. But like, I guess people are all now like, well, what's going to happen?
Okay. So pre-Roe meant that abortion was technically legal throughout all 50 states, but you had liberal states like New York, California, Washington, where you could usually go get an abortion because they didn't criminalize the law on the books. So what happens if this opinion is correct, and from what I've read and from what I understand, it is correct, it's what we're going to get. That means that every state, it will go to states' rights, and I hate that term because it sucks. Your healthcare should not depend on your zip code if you live in the United States. But what happens is basically the whole Southeast gets wiped out. Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, probably Indiana. We're iffy on Ohio. Probably Ohio will be banned too. Right now in Alabama, we are looking at transporting patients from Alabama to right now North Carolina. But we don't know if North Carolina will stand because their governor, I believe, is term limited, and it will depend on if they get another Democrat in the governor's office in North Carolina. So our backup plan, if we can't get to North Carolina, will be DC or Maryland. And if that doesn't work out in DC and Maryland or overrun, I'm looking at sending people all the way to Massachusetts because that's where I have connections. I am so fucking mad. I'm so angry because I've seen this coming. When Texas pulled their bullshit last year, I knew this was coming. I told everybody. I told you, Nelson. I was like, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. And here the fuck we are. But, oh God, it's just, everybody said, oh, you can just go to Florida. Do you think for half a second that Ron DeSantis is going to allow abortions to happen in his state in an election year? I am sorry. He is going to call a special session of the Florida legislature to ban abortion. I've been in policy work for 12 years now, since 2010. He will absolutely, in an election year, ban abortion outright. So that cuts off all the Southeast being able to go to Florida, but it's not like you've got an abundance of abortion clinics in Florida anyway, or abundance of abortion clinics in the South as a whole, except for maybe in Georgia because of Atlanta, and maybe around Tennessee when they're not burning them down, like in Nashville, and we used to have one in Knoxville, but that one got caught on fire last year under mysterious circumstances. So it's not like any state in the South has a huge number of abortion clinics. Like I said earlier, Louisiana has one. Louisiana has 3. Mississippi has 1. Arkansas has 1. Alabama has 3 at the moment. We do have Planned Parenthoods, but they can't seem to stay open for some reason, have never been able to stay open for the longest I've been doing this. And there's actually 7 clinics in the Atlanta area. So this like the mecca of abortion clinics in the Southeast, because even Kentucky only has 1 to 2, depending on if their Planned Parenthood is open too. So it's a dire situation. And do not think for 1 second, if you live in a blue state, you are safe. Because they're coming for you next. And not only are they coming for you next, they're coming after your birth control. They're already talking about coming for Griswold.
Listen up, blue state liberals that always shit on us. Listen up.
Right. Listen, they're coming for Bayard, which gave single people, married people got the right to birth control in Griswold before single people did. So not only coming for that, they're coming for overfill. They're already coming for trans kids. Look at what Alabama has done. Look at what all these states have done. Look what Texas has done. They're copycats all through the Southeast. They are coming for all of our civil rights. And when I say all of them, I mean all of them. They've already come for your voting rights. What do you think is next? People laugh at me when I tell them Lawrence versus Texas is next. It is absolutely next. And that pairs in with overfill. Y'all have to wake the fuck up.
For those who don't know, Lawrence v. Texas was about sodomy laws, and Obergefell is that legalized same-sex marriage.
I'm sorry. I start rolling on a rant, and I just go. Nelson was actually at my house.
Yeah, this was
the
wild.
Night that the opinion leaked. I lost my fucking mind because I knew it was coming. I was like, I told y'all it was coming, but at least we have time to plan. And that's what we've been doing since. Because you're not going to stop abortion. And let me tell you, stop with the coat hanger imagery, okay? I was born the year after Roe was decided. I wear a coat hanger on my neck because it was gifted to me by an elder who is no longer with us. But we have safe abortion, and it's self-managed abortion. It is very easy. We don't have to use the coat hanger imagery anymore.
I have one specific question about something that was talked about in Louisiana. Are they really like, I kind of heard about this, and maybe I saw it on the news. I think someone was making fun of how stupid the legislators are in Louisiana, because the guy didn't know how IUDs worked. But are they really trying to ban IUDs in Louisiana and make it like a felony or whatever?
Dude, they made miscarriages felonies in some states. Dude, they're going fucking nuts, dude. It's wild.
Right. I mean, this is the path we're on. Once Roe falls and Casey falls, Alabama has a Chemical Endangerment Act that they have used to imprison people who have given birth with doctors' prescriptions for what they consider controlled substances. With a doctor's prescription. This has been happening for the past 20 years in Alabama. Alabama is a testing ground for the rest of the United States. When they banned abortion in 2019, everybody was like, oh, what did you expect? It's Alabama. I was like, they come for you next. And look at where we are. People have asked me, what do you see after an abortion ban? You know, what are these state legislatures going to do? I'll tell you exactly what they're going to do. They're going to investigate your miscarriage. They're going to investigate every stillbirth.
Yep.
And they're not going to allow you to travel outside of your state while you're pregnant.
It's your property of the state.
That was another thing that was taught. I listened to this podcast 5-4 about the Supreme Court from like progressive lawyers talking about it. And they brought up the fact, you just hinted at it, the right to basically interstate commerce and being able to travel. Like they're going to start like Missouri, I think it was, had this idea floating around that they were going to bar people from leaving the state to access abortion. So is that a reality? Do you think that's okay?
Yes, absolutely. Do you not think the state of Alabama would love to stop every pregnant person that crossed that line from, I-85 north from Montgomery to Atlanta? Come on, I just told you there's 7 abortion clinics in Atlanta alone. That doesn't count the rest of the state that has abortion clinics throughout. They would totally do that. And if you don't think that most of the OBGYNs, at least in Montgomery, would be complicit in that, because you're like, who is going to turn me in? I'll tell you who's going to turn you in. Your OBGYN is going to turn you in. They already do it at hospitals, and that's not your OB. That's the state doing it at hospitals.
In the year 2022, women are just confined to incubators. That's what they are. Women are just incubators. That's it. That's all they want you to be.
Right. People who have the ability to be pregnant will always be incubators. I mean, right. You hear these things on TV about, the great replacement theory that has always been these destinations. They didn't want to say it out loud. They didn't want to say it in public, but that has always been the case. 99.9% of anti-abortion activists are also white supremacists.
Yes.
Period.
Amen.
Period. And it is not about babies. They don't give a fuck about babies. Okay? They do not. It is about controlling people who have the ability to get pregnant, and women, and anybody else in between, and more importantly, their sexual agency. Because that's the whole problem they have with this abortion thing, is people's sexual agency and control.
I want to point out something that just a little bit of proof as to how these motherfuckers don't give a shit about babies, because these same right-winger pro-lifers like Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, etc., voted against the bill to help replenish the baby formulas, baby formula shortage in America. Why? Because they care about babies, right? They give a shit about babies. They care about life, but yet they voted against every measure to replenish the baby formula shortage. So they don't give a fuck.
Right.
It's not about the children. It's never been about the children. You're absolutely right.
They do not care. And please do not call them pro-lifers. They are not pro-life. Do I ever see them at anti-death penalty things? No, because they are certainly for the death penalty. Yeah. So they are anti-choice. They're not, like you said, they're not for helping people feed their actual born children. They are fetus fetishists. Say that 10 times fast. But they do not care. They do not care once you give birth. We just now in Alabama got expanded Medicaid for people who have given birth past 30 days. This year, I told Nelson when this went down, I said, you know why they're doing that? Because they know they're fixing to ban abortion.
Me is actually from the future, y'all. Me is from the future. Has come back to warn us.
You have regressed.
I am from the future. My hair has been on fire for 5 years, telling y'all this is gonna happen, and here we are.
But here's what's fucked up, and I 100% blame Democrats. Like straight up, the minute Roe passed, there were already articles about people like, yeah, we're gonna fucking change this. Like they from the minute Roe passed, there are people actively fighting against it, actively trying to change it. And it's finally happened. It's finally gone into fruition. And Democrats had every opportunity to codify it in the law. And they squandered it. They could still do it now if they got rid of the filibuster, but they won't do it because they are weak and feckless and ineffective. They're horrible, fucking horrible.
My husband calls them the do nothing Democrats.
They don't do
shit.
And what's worse is this fucking Roe v. Wade getting overturned means that they're going to do even less shit, because they're going to use this as the platform for what you should vote against. They're not going to do anything. They're just going to, oh, well, you don't want any more, we'll all take it away, so you should vote for us, because we're not going to do shit, but we'll keep it the same.
And that's what makes me mad, is because they're going to fundraise off of our backs.
Yes,
and they're not going to help us.
Yes.
They're going to fundraise off of our backs, and they're not going to fucking help us. And that makes me super angry. You can tell I've had, like, the past 3 weeks, I told Nelson, you're not going to convince me it hasn't been 2 years, because it has felt like it as a Southern organizer and someone who knows how this shit is going to go down. But Tommy, I will bring you back to this point you were talking about. They could have done it since Roe versus Wade. And maybe the Catholics were all over that, but let me point out that Southern Baptists were fine with this until right before Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
And they saw it as a good replacement for their segregation fight.
Exactly.
Because the segregation fights weren't looking so good on paper anymore, or in the media to certain people. So basically, the abortion issue with Southern Baptists and Southerners, and like I said, Catholics already been about it. So we're not even talking about them. Yeah, we could have done this a long time ago.
The Republicans had to switch their demographic. They're like, okay, well, we're losing voters. So how do we get more voters? Okay, let's tap into the evangelical market and get them on our side by saying we love and care about children and we want to ban abortion. And all the Catholics and all the Christians and all the people are, yeah, we're down with that. We'll preach this gospel and we'll get everybody on your side. And ever since then, it's just been, Republicans and Christianity just all tight together.
Because they told Jerry Falwell he had to integrate Liberty University. So Jerry, no, really, people like Jerry Falwell, and he said what you said about they couldn't keep bringing up segregation anymore because times started to change. So they were like, oh, let's do abortion next. And the Catholics were like, oh yeah, this is great because they've hated it since 1869. They've been excommunicating people with that because of that since then.
Right.
And they've always been against it. But like you said, the Protestants and the Baptists were like, oh, it's whatever. It's a Catholic issue. But then, like you said, and what Tommy's like, we all said it. It's like fucking, they're racists. And so it's literally just a branch of like that racist segregationist bullshit.
It is absolutely racist. I think I've told you guys about the signs that I have seen outside of the clinic and the powerhouse, where our protester, who shall not be named, cut pictures of black babies out of, I'm guessing, magazines or something, and post them on, like a foam core board, and then puts endangered species next to it in lettering, insinuating a whole lot of different things. But it's absolutely racist. All abortion bans, all abortion restrictions are racist as fuck, and we should get rid of them. Abortion is healthcare, period. No one should have to go through what I call the struggle Olympics to prove that they need an abortion. You tell me you need an abortion. If it's within my power and it's legal for me to do so, I'm going to help you get your abortion. I don't care what your reason is.
Kai, you brought up something that kind of struck me. It was like, you said that there's people in the UK now on the far right in the conservatives that are questioning like the UK's abortion laws. So like, what's happening over there?
Well, so far there haven't really been attacks on the actual laws. Again, I haven't looked into the laws super closely here, and that's totally like a selfish thing on my end, because I do not want to get pregnant and I never plan on getting pregnant, and there are ways that I am not going to be pregnant over here in the UK. So I haven't really looked into the laws specifically, but I'm pretty sure we don't have anything that's like a specific legalization law over here. It just exists as it is already, kind of like
it's just normal.
Yeah,
like
kind
it
of like,
should be.
Kind of,
it's normal.
The pre-1973 United States, when it wasn't, anything was on the books. But like I said a few weeks ago, what happens in the US a couple years later will tend to slip in over here in the UK. And with this going on right now in the US, at the same time, there are high-ranking government officials, people in parliament, who are starting to voice their vocal, like literally saying out loud that they do not support abortion or anything surrounding that. And that's not something that you might have heard vocally, except for a very small wacko kind of minority over here. Like, people wouldn't be talking about it. And just the way that you have to look at it is that it's empowering them to start talking about it. And that within a couple of years is going to be empowering them to start acting on it. And within a couple of years of that, if nothing stops, it's going to empower them to start making laws. And it's really, you know, kind of like a 5-year gap, and within 5 years it's either going to come to a head in this country or somebody will step in, and I'm not confident that anybody will step in considering how disgusting politics is over here at the moment. So yeah, it could very quickly be happening over here. And actually, while we're talking about this, part of why I'm staying so silent on this episode, besides the fact that Mia knows 8,000 times more than I do, I'm not giving you guys any credit, but Mia definitely knows what she's talking about. But it's making me think that, okay, so we have this situation getting ready to go down in the States, and we're thinking maybe within the next 5 to 10 years, it could be happening over here in this country. Now, I'm thinking of myself. I probably have 10 to 15 years before menopause, as I am right now. And God help me, my husband will stay healthy and I stay with my husband, and he's a cis man, so there is the possibility of becoming pregnant, but that's not really an issue right now. But I'm from Florida. My whole family lives in Florida. If I go back home to help with my family, with my aging parents, and my husband is there, maybe we move there together, there is the possibility that something could go wrong between all that, and I could become pregnant. So I'm starting to think, should I start looking into medical intervention now in my body? You know,
I got you. You moved to Florida, baby. I got you.
You know, like thinking of getting it done now, so that in the future, if I have to go help my parents and my husband is with me, I don't have to have this thought of, you know, I still have what rights I have right now in the UK that are not going to be afforded to me there. And I feel like there could be a very small swelling of Americans who are in other countries that have better healthcare, who can go to their doctors when usually those doctors would say something like, oh, have you asked your husband if you're allowed to have your tubes tied? Oh, why don't you have any kids first before you have your tubes tied, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they'll get the answer, I'm American and I will have no hope of healthcare if I go back home, basically.
Right. And that is the thing that I have been running across with me being the abortion lady. People come to me and say, should I go ahead and schedule a tubal? And I'm like, fuck yeah, if that's what you want and you can find a doctor to give it to you. Because even I had a problem getting one myself.
Yeah, you know, there's all that you got 30, on top of it.
Right. And that doesn't even count all this other stuff, because if you can do it now, do it, because people don't realize if Roe falls, Casey falls. The whole premise of Casey versus Planned Parenthood, people think it was about, oh, it affirmed abortion. Yes, it did affirm abortion, but guess what? A lot of it was about? It was about spousal consent. Before that case, people who could get pregnant in Pennsylvania had to get permission from their spouse to have an abortion. So that's what a lot of Planned Parenthood versus Casey was about, was spousal consent. Is there an, quote, undue burden? And all these other issues that it's hard to explain, but Casey did actually set precedents on Roe, but Casey also said that there are instances where states have an interest in fetal life. And that's where we get a lot of the restrictions we have now, aside from parental consent or spousal consent or any kind of consent, comes from Casey saying, okay, you can do this, but only up into an undue burden part, and the state can take a vested interest in that fetal life. And Kai, I really wanted to talk to you tonight because this is something that has come up in discussions recently. And I know you're Indigenous, and a lot of people have been saying, hey, the Indigenous people should just open up abortion clinics on their land. To which I say, fuck you. That's a bunch of white people imposing themselves on the Indigenous people. I want to know what you have to say about it.
Well, for one thing, if you're going to be on a reservation, you're going to be under the jurisdiction of BIA, Bureau of Indian Affairs, and
right.
gosh, I can't remember the actual name of it, but Indian Health Services.
Yes.
Is that it? Yeah. There have already, like, Governor Stitt, the guy that we were talking about at the beginning, he has already threatened the tribes of Oklahoma not to start doing that. Like, he has any foot to stand on.
Right, because you can't do that. And that's why I wanted to ask you, because no, I say no, you can't do that. No, as a white person, no. Other people should not be doing that.
I am indigenous. I am not carded. So I cannot just walk up onto any reservation and demand health care. I can't. Just the same as anybody else who's not indigenous can't do that. Can't just rock up onto a reservation and demand health care. It just doesn't work like that. And IHS has really, really shitty funding. Really bad funding. Really bad, like 20 years too late with a lot of their facilities in a lot of places. So that's going to be a huge financial, so regardless of the moral point of view, which I'll get to at the end, but from just thinking of like a financial point of view, that is going to be a huge drain on already depleted resources. You don't have rights to that kind of thing. Now, I'm pretty sure, if you're on a reservation, you get hurt, yeah, you're going to get treated by a hospital if they have one on the reservation, if they have a clinic or something. But it's not something you can just like, oh yeah, I've switched all my medical services over to IHS, even though I'm not indigenous and I don't live on this reservation, basically. It just doesn't work like that. You're basically going to another country for health service, because reservations are supposed to be, under the law, sovereign. So it's basically like going on into another country for health services. Now, regardless of that, if we're going to go into the moral part of this,
the ethical part of this,
yes, indigenous, indigenous ways of helping and caring for pregnant people, and the unique things that they have going on with them, and how you have family planning in indigenous families, doesn't have anything to do with settlers, doesn't have any kind of, you can't even connect the two. And for a lot of indigenous people who are going back to traditional ways, or never had to go back to traditional ways, we have family planning, we have ways of not having babies, we have those things, but we never said that we were going to share it with anybody, and like, even just thinking of just some crunchy white lady who decides, after this happens and she doesn't want to have, she gets pregnant, she doesn't want to have a baby, and she decides that she's going to go to let's say they find a traditional person on a reservation somewhere who, for whatever reason, says that they'll help them. I'm just thinking of the absolute hell that would break loose if this crunchy white lady comes to some harm by using traditional methods that if you're going outside of medical purview, if you're going into more traditional methods, my God, I can't even imagine the hell that would rain down on reservations and indigenous people for something like that happening. Do not rely on us. I'm sorry.
Or
do not rely on us for
the media.
For this.
Or this white lady goes to the media and says, "Oh, I went to a,
Oh yeah, it takes one TikTok to take off.
Like in Alabama. One TikTok, like in Alabama. My husband is descendants of Porch Creek. I don't pretend to answer for them or anything else, but this is a question that I have gotten because we are in close proximity to Porch Creek land. And I'm like, do not fucking do that. I will come to your house and strangle you myself. Do not do that. What is wrong with you?
That'll be the pro-life sleep paralysis demon, is Mia.
It's
strangling.
It's really, really rich that non-indigenous people in the U.S. Specifically white people in the U.S. who have so much power and so much financial power in the U.S. don't give a fuck about indigenous people until the moment that they might be able to take something from their health services.
Some kind of advantage, or if I go and I get abortion pills through the mail and I go hang out on the Porch Creek land, the federal government can't get me. I'm like, bitch, no, do not do that. What is wrong with you? And that's something that someone has actually asked me.
I'm gonna put my master's degree in political science to work in a second.
Wait, I have a hot take on this.
I have a hot take too.
Ban white people.
Hot take income.
All right.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. We got all of them.
I just want to say that I think you all would agree with me that it's about time Native Americans start doing their fair share around here. So
This is why you're not allowed in the group chat anymore.
Kai and Mark just exploded.
Poor Mark. I haven't heard a word from Mark. Mark,
no,
I'm getting into this.
I'm listening. I'm waiting my turn. My hot take was that
here's your turn.
Being assigned female at birth, I have more to say, but my hot take about the reservation clinic thing is that I'm sure that it'd also be treated as exotic medicine. There'd be like an extra little, like, oh, well, we can just take advantage of this because, like, it's just.
It would come with a dream catcher.
Well, I had it all put together, and then Tommy said that, and then my brain like exploded. It's more of like a
like something else white people can appropriate, and like
like it's like people
it's
are
gonna
already
turn
doing
into another
this.
ayahuasca or peyote.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Can you imagine white women in dreads?
I literally just talked about that situation, Nelson.
Like I'm imagining the Instagram post of the white women with dreads taking selfies in front of it and saying like something stupid.
Yeah.
When there's people living here who need this and they're taking their resources as usual. Like it's just I can feel that coming if it goes that way.
I mean, there's already white ladies who pay a lot to go to like Navajo birthing hogans and things like that. There's already people who pay for things like that. And like usual, I will not shit talk other indigenous people in mixed company like this. So all the blame in that situation lays on the person who's in the dominant culture, who's probably white in this situation, who's decided that they're going to feel closer to the earth if they go to a Navajo birthing hogan. They'll feel closer to the earth if they go to, you know, Cherokee, the Cherokee reservation and have their abortion there because it's legal there, but also, you know, they might smell some sweetgrass or some sage while it's happening. You know, it's
right. Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
yeah, I get
exactly.
You.
Yeah, and like also, the people who are there providing those services aren't going to turn them away because that's their job. And any person who's in a position of caring for other people are going to do the right thing. So it's just the moral responsibility of the people who are going to take advantage of this to not do it. And it's going to overload people even more. It's going to head that way.
Let me be clear. I've heard people talking about, that Biden should put abortion clinics on native reservations, to which I'm like, no.
He doesn't even have the right to do so.
What is Biden?
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
he can't even tie his own fucking shoes. What the fuck is he gonna do?
He can't fucking do that. And then I get the people who are individuals saying, well, say for instance, like I said, if Alabama is going to possibly prosecute me for taking misoprostol, can I just drive over to the casino in Wetumpka or Atmore or, you know, wherever the Porch Creek have land and just take it there because they can't prosecute me because I took it on federal land? And then
it's not no man's land. It's
right. I mean, it's fucked up. People don't don't think about legal loopholes like that. Just keep your fucking mouth shut and take it on Alabama property where you fucking live. This is not legal advice.
That's going to be the
This is
title
not
of this
legal
episode.
advice.
Oh, okay, I do have a question, Mia. So
Okay.
it is to my understanding, as a male, because I know everything about female anatomy. So it is to my understanding that most abortions are a pill, right?
Or, well, it depends actually. A lot of people are not comfortable taking a pill,
Okay.
especially people who have had their pregnancy as their first pregnancy.
Okay.
They don't know what to expect. It is a very personal and private decision with the person that is having that procedure. Personally, as someone who has had a miscarriage that lasted for several hours and was some of the most excruciating pain in my life, I personally would not take the medication abortion because it basically induces miscarriage. This is just my personal opinion. That is not everyone's opinion. You do what works for you. Surgical abortion is been around forever. It's what I call the one and done. You know you've removed the pregnancy and it takes less than 5 minutes and you're out of the clinic. So it is very much dependent on what that person is comfortable with.
Gotcha. Okay. That I did not know. I knew you could do the pill, but I didn't know that there was like options and
How it works.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Well, let's have a little information thing here. The pill works. It's actually 2 pills, or you can use 1 pill. If you go into a clinical setting, like an abortion clinic, it is a 2-pill method, meaning you're going to get a dose of mifepristone, which actually detaches the pregnancy from the uterine lining. And then at least 24 hours to 48 hours after that, you're going to take a series of misoprostol, which actually expels the pregnancy. It's actually an ulcer drug. They just figured out that if you take a lot of it, it causes you to miscarry. You do not have to take mifepristone to detach the pregnancy. It is optional. It is, quote, the kind of the easier way, because you don't have to have so many of the misoprostol pills to do a medication abortion and make sure everything is evacuated out of the uterus. So that process of medication abortion, like I said, can take 1, 2, 3 days, depending on how far you are. The FDA currently regulates medication abortion at 12 weeks tops. However, it is used in different countries, not so much United States, but as what you would term third world countries, for safe abortion up to 20 weeks of pregnancy. Like I said, it depends on how you want to do it. Surgicals, you come in, they give you lidocaine to deaden your cervix. They insert a cannula and they use a general vacuum to expel all the contents of the pregnancy. The whole thing takes less than 5 minutes. So that's what abortion is. And it varies on the person who is getting the abortion, what they want to do. Like I said, people who have not been pregnant before may not want to do the pill because it can be, a couple hours, a lot of anxiety. They might want a surgical. It really depends on what that person is comfortable with. And any clinic that you go to will absolutely work with you on the procedure that would be best for you.
Gotcha. Well, I have a follow-up question to that. And thank you for that information, because I did not know any of that. And I'm sure Nelson didn't either.
Well, now,
But
now we need a little rainbow with the thing. The more you know.
I've heard Mia talk about this for years.
Nelson, you didn't know
Yes.
that. He didn't. He wasn't listening.
At what time does the baby come out alive, and does the arms and things, I heard that they kill the baby after it's born. That's what I heard.
Halfway out of the birth
Postpartum
canal.
abortions. Tell you what.
Yeah,
that
okay.
So my follow-up question is, how how hard is it to get these pills? Like, let's say if you wanted to get the pills, like, because I know people buy, medicine from Canada if they can, or other countries. Like,
Right.
are these pills like over the counter, or are they do they have to be prescribed? I don't know. I'm just asking. Don't look at me like that, Kai. I don't know.
Right. Well, I will tell you, I am not an attorney, and this is not legal advice in the whatsoever world of anything. But abortion pills are very easy to find online.
Oh.
You can go on your Uncle Google and you can type in aid access, AIDACCESS, excuse me, dot something, let's put it that way. And you can order abortion pills to your home.
Really?
However, before one would hypothetically do this, one would want to make sure that they have, a VPN installed on their internet, because you want to be safe, because it's your health information and you don't want someone stealing your health information, do we?
Right,
No.
right. Or you may want to get a friend to do it, someone, in another state, maybe.
Well,
drive it over.
That
right.
That could be true,
Yeah.
but
Also,
one would want to hypothetically look up the laws in their state on performing their own abortion, hypothetically, because you never know, you might read a book about it or something. I wonder if it's true. But one would, make sure they cover themselves in an appropriate way before ordering any kind of pills. And if you were looking for information for your friend on how to take these things safely that you had no part in, you would go to the World Health Organization's website and you would look up abortion pills to make sure your friend didn't get something off the street was bad, because nobody needs to buy things off the street that might be bad. So you could look up the World Health Organization's website and you could go and search abortion pills or medication abortion, and they would have exactly everything you need to know to make sure your friend was not in danger.
And you may want to use the post office and not FedEx or UPS, because the post office needs a warrant to open your stuff and UPS and FedEx do not.
Hypothetically, that is correct.
In Minecraft is what I'm told we have to say now.
Yes.
In Minecraft.
Yes. And Minecraft and
whatever that is.
Whatever that other game
in Elden Ring.
Whatever that is you kids are playing now.
Yeah. Mark.
Yes.
In Elden Ring, you have mandatory abortions.
I didn't say a video game, but then you say my name. Okay.
I do.
For the record, I was giving Tommy a look, not because of about the ease of possibly getting anything. The look was because he asked about it being OTC, and I just like had this image of somebody like walking into Walgreens and just grabbing one. It has like real like nice packaging and everything. I
didn't know, like, hey,
holographic tape.
Maybe it's next to the Tylenol. I don't know.
It's not saying that you had anything like wrong or anything. It just like the image popped into my head and just like, oh shit, I gotta go to Walgreens and buy this. Like,
in a perfect world,
and somebody's left like a Funko Pop next to it. Like, there's a Squishmallow there. And then the abortion pill.
In a perfect world, they would all be open and stolen and just the empty box there, and you would just
exactly. In a perfect world, all of this would be free.
Yeah.
All of it.
Now, I do
want people know, emergency contraception is not the abortion pill.
Oh,
okay. So
you can't use Plan B after you're pregnant?
Plan B is not the abortion pill. Plan B stops implantation. And the sooner you take Plan B, after you have a mistake, that means the condom slipped off, it busted, you was a little drunk, you didn't think about it, whatever. As soon as you realize, oh, I fucked up, you must take Plan B. The sooner the better, within 72 hours. And if you are over 165 pounds, unfortunately, I don't make the rules. The racist ass pharmaceutical companies do. You have to take Ella, which is explicitly for people who are over 165 pounds. Or
wait.
alternately,
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a
or,
minute.
wait a minute, wait.
Wait.
Tommy, let me
alternately-
finish.
Or alternately, you have to take 2 of the regular Plan Bs. And even then, it's not guaranteed.
Wait a
Okay,
minute.
I don't make the rules. Yes, I know you're fixing to have a fit. Just like I
Tommy,
did. Go
it's
ahead.
true.
No one
I'll say
told
right
me
now,
this.
I've done this. When
Yeah.
in the UK, I have had to take 2 pills.
Dude,
I had
no
to have-
one fucking tells
You
you.
know,
Are you
you know how-
serious?
wait.
Are you
Tommy,
I feel-
embarrassing?
there's
Wait.
I
loads
feel
of
like
people.
I'm glad that I can fall into a category as someone who is also rotund. I'm over 165 pounds. I feel your pain.
It's
know
all
how
right. I'll give you
embarrassing
2, son.
No.
It is taking 2 of these boxes up to the Walmart manager and having them unlock 2 boxes for me. And it's like sitting there making the loud electrical sound of them taking it out of the box, the security box. And then,
I am so sorry.
yeah.
Wait,
No,
Mark,
no, no.
It's
so
okay.
in the US, do you have to have a consultation with a pharmacist?
No,
I
you do
couldn't
not.
find.
Okay,
No.
over here in the UK, they take you into like a closet and they talk to you about it.
What?
Oh, this was 12 o'clock in the morning, God. There was nobody there to talk to me.
This
Hold
Walmart
on.
backwards
Wait.
George.
Wait. I
No,
want
no, we have Boots.
Come here,
Boots
come here,
is
come here.
slightly analogous to like a Walgreens or CVS, and it's only open during business hours, not like a Walmart. And you have to go in there. You have to ask a pharmacist, and then they take you into like a very small consultation rooms, like sitting in a closet with somebody you don't know, and they talk to you about it. And I was told to my face that because of my weight, I had to take 2 pills based on what they had there. This pharmacist also asked my husband, who at the time wasn't my husband yet, but asked my husband if I spoke English, because I was so nervous having to go up to a pharmacist in a foreign country to ask for emergency contraceptives that he went to the desk while I was standing right next to him, and he asked the pharmacist, and the pharmacist whispered to him, "Does she speak English?" So
Oh my God.
Wait.
Mohawk
Hold
and
on.
just-
Wait, everybody,
just
one
spell
second,
Mohawk
one
and
second, one
fucking
second.
fuck with
Wait, one second. Michael, did you know? I just found this out 2 seconds. Did you know that Plan B doesn't, like, you have to take more than one if you're over a certain weight limit? Did you know that?
Makes sense.
Yeah, but did you know that?
No.
Exactly. Why the fuck has no one told us this?
Tommy, I'm
Tommy's
pretty
You
sure
in
have to
I
utter
go
saw
around
stuff.
the
shock right
abortion
now.
clinic.
I saw stuff on Facebook about this within this week. You just need
I've-
to hang out with more people who
No,
need
I-
this information.
I've known Tommy for 15 years. I've never seen him this shocked.
Dude,
He is-
I am
he is
very,
shocked.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed because I've never known that to be, I did, like, okay, so as a, you know,
Tommy's
whatever.
like, fuck the patriarchy.
Yeah, no, but it's fucked up
They
that it don't,
lied to us.
it's fucked up that they don't teach you this shit. Like, what the fuck, man? And I know I went to Catholic school. I get that. That's not where I was gonna learn it. Okay, if any place,
I wasn't
forget
even
that.
gonna bring it up.
But still, like, I've done, you know, I feel like I'm a pretty knowledgeable person, and it really upsets me that I did not know this. Like, I could have been fucked up by this. This could have effectively ruined my life because I didn't know this.
And more people need to know this.
Yes.
And look, like Mark said, if you're at, Walmart in the middle of the night or whatever, a lot of abortion funds keep Plan B for free. And all abortion fund people know this because we work in abortion care, which is what you have to come get if the Plan B doesn't work. So if you're listening to this and you have an abortion fund in your state and you're wondering, how can I get some Plan B? Do I need Ella? Do I need 2 pills of regular Plan B? What do I need and how do I get it? And how do I get it with less cost as necessary?
Yes, it's like
Contact your
$50.
local abortion fund. They probably have some for free. The Powerhouse always has Plan B for free. You can call me as long as it's, please don't call me at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's just rude. Wait till 8 o'clock. Call me and say, hey, I need some plan B. I will leave it on the porch of the powerhouse for you. No questions asked. A lot of abortion funds will do the same thing. Reach out to your local people if you need plan B.
Nelson, I need you to pick me up some.
That's a great. Shut up. That's a great segue.
Are we
But
finally
Tommy,
gonna
you-
get Nelson's hot take?
No, I don't have any hot take. I'm just using my overeducated, underemployed self, putting these degrees I have to work real quick. But Tommy, I would definitely get you plan B if you needed plan B. I got you. Don't worry.
Well, let me ask you
I,
this:
I will leave
does Plan
some
B
for you.
expire?
Oh yeah, that's a good
Yes,
question.
Plan B does expire.
God.
But our doctors at the clinic say that as long as you keep Levondrostrel, good God, I can't even say it this late. It's late and I'm tired. If you have Plan B in your house and your expiration date is say May of 2022, as long as you keep it at a good temperature and it's not exposed to too much heat or too much cold or too much dampness, it will last for a year past its expiration date, according to every doctor I have spoken with.
Interesting. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, that's cool. Well, that's good to know at least. So
Yeah.
real quick, I want to double back for a second, talk about some just throwing my legalese real quick. So we have a conservative majority Supreme Court, and another majority conservative Supreme Court. Kind of going back to just real quick, double back to the indigenous reservations. While indigenous reservations have sovereignty, they don't necessarily have autonomy in that they still come under the jurisdiction of the federal government. So if a state passes a law, they don't have to abide by it. But if the federal government passes a law, they do have to abide by it. And they come under the authority of the Supreme Court, as we saw in Employment Division v. Smith, when the Supreme Court regulated religious practices amongst certain indigenous communities that use peyote. They said they could get fired because it is an illegal substance if they use
Under
this,
federal
even though
law.
under federal law. So why I'm saying this is because while yes, the reservations that are in Oklahoma don't necessarily have to follow the state government's laws of Oklahoma bans abortion, if the federal government comes in and if the federal government comes in and makes abortion illegal throughout the United States, then we're all fucked because they wouldn't be able to legally do abortions because they're on federal land. So that needs to be taken into consideration because as we're all saying,
Honestly,
is that they're going to probably ban it federally. That's like the next thing, right? People are talking about a federal law to ban abortion nationwide.
Right. And that's what I wanted to put out was that the opinion that we have seen that was leaked would basically say, hey, Roe is a states' rights issue. That does not mean nationwide abortion ban. That's why I, in Alabama, am planning to get people to North Carolina, Virginia, D.C., Maryland, Boston, Massachusetts, because it's a states' rights issue. However, Mitch McConnell has already said that we could have a nationwide abortion ban. This is a possibility. So if you have a nationwide abortion ban, that cuts off your liberal bastions of California, Illinois. Illinois recently put reproductive rights in their constitution. It's enshrined. New York, Maryland, all these blue states that have it, bye-bye if we have a nationwide abortion ban.
Yeah. So I guess the segue into, and probably one of the last things we could talk about, because this is probably, we've been doom and gloom up till now, but Mia, what are do's and don'ts of how to how to support people fighting for reproductive health care? So I guess what are the do's and don'ts, and what should people do to help other than trying to convince people that voting is going to solve all their problems? Because I actually did crunch the numbers. I have it on my little scrap sheet of paper here about how Alabama has completely gerrymandered the state house and has made it so voting literally does not matter. So obviously, yes, if you want to vote, go vote. That's great. But what direct action things, do's and don'ts, should people do to or not do to help y'all? Because obviously there's people out there that like, let's go fucking hypothetically burn down pro-choice buildings, and then there's people that are like, oh, we should donate to abortion funds. So I guess what are from you, someone who's been doing this for years, what are the do's and don'ts, and how can people help?
As of right now, number one, and I'm going to piss off a lot of people when I say this, but you cannot vote your way out of abortion bans, particularly in the South. It cannot happen. Yes, you should absolutely 110% vote, but you cannot vote your way out of abortion bans in the South, period. Period. Under current guidelines, because these seem to be changing at any moment, you just can't vote your way out of abortion bans in the South. Just like you can't vote your way out of gerrymandering, you can't vote your way out of the recession of voter rights. It just can't happen. Number two, do not try to reinvent the wheel. Abortion funds and people who work in abortion care like me have been doing this for a very long time. Do not try to pull an anti-network. Abortion funds and abortion people already have these networks in place. Do not call anything an abortion underground. No, do not do that. It's just bad, especially if you're white. Do not do this. It's terrible. Another thing is, give people the money they need to operate with. Look in your state. Google it. It's not hard to do. See who is doing the work on the ground. And it will be easy to see who is actually putting in the work. Do not, this is going to make so many people mad, but do not give to national organizations because they don't give a fuck about your state. They really don't. Focus on state levels of abortion care. Focus on state abortion funds. I'm not going to name names, but nationwide abortion people do not care about your state. They only care about your organization and their organization and how their organization can influence your state. Always give to people who are working on the ground. Like I said, Google it. It's not hard to figure out. Invest in privacy controls. Don't always talk about what you're doing. Do what you're doing. Invest in VPNs. Know your state laws. You do not want to get hung up, especially if you are in a state that is very hostile to abortion. Know what you can do. And if you are unsure, consult an attorney. Period. I don't know what to say other than that. Then people, I don't know how to say any more than we are in a time I never thought we would be in. And for over half the population, we are in some shit. And only we can save us. Okay, it's not going to be up to the government. It's not going to be up to your state legislature. It's not going to be up to your city. It's going to be your community that cares for you. Keep your community close. And remember, the state is not on your side. Only we will save us. Period.
I guess another question would be, because I know you've talked about this and if anyone has been a long time listener, you know me has been on multiple times because this, especially in the South, comes up time and time again. Abortion rulings and abortion laws.
Every
Again,
year,
every
every
year,
single year.
Mia. When it comes to, I guess, protesting, like I know you've reiterated time and time again. Make sure you contact whoever runs clinics. Don't just show up because
Oh God, yes.
yeah. You want to do your rant about that real quick? I know you got a good one.
Yes, I will rant about that. If you don't do the work in Alabama, don't try to put on a protest in Alabama unless you contact the people who are in Alabama doing the work already. What may work for you in New York City is not going to work for us in Alabama. Okay, we get it. New York City is different. Okay, we get it, but it's not going to work for us. And if you come down here to the South, and I don't care what state you're from, you could be from North Carolina, which I consider a very friendly state. If you don't contact the people on the ground who are doing the work in the city or the state or the county or Providence or what have you that you are in, you are an asshole. Period. And that's how we will look at you. Period. Because we're the people on the ground doing this work every day. We're the people on the ground getting threats every day. You may live in a blue state where you don't have to worry about that. But we do. And you come in and you basically decide you're going to decide what's best for us? No. Fuck you. Go home.
You can go back where you came from.
You go back where you came from because this is our home. This is where we live. And we have to deal with the consequences after you leave.
God.
If someone comes to Montgomery, Alabama to do an abortion protest, and I or anybody in Alabama as a whole, not even Montgomery, Alabama as a whole, doesn't know you, and you come down here and you show your ass and you do things that are okay in New York City but are not okay in Alabama, guess who's going to get the heat off of that? Not going to be your ass. It's going to be my ass. Okay? And you're going to make our lives so much harder than they have to be. So don't be that asshole. We welcome solidarity all the time. But don't come into somewhere you don't belong and try to tell us what to do or how to do things. Because we don't do that to you. Period. And that's all I'll say about that.
Is that I could drop it in the show notes, but is there a link that people can go to find an abortion fund in their state? There's like a one-all link.
Yes, there is a one-all link, but I don't know it off the top of my head.
Okay, I'm sure we can find it, and I'll drop it in the show notes.
Yeah, it's late, son. You tell me, taking me all day. Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. Because let me tell you, if you have an abortion friend, we are tired as fuck right now. You have no idea because we're now thinking, okay, we have to stop working within these legal systems we know and how to work outside of these legal systems that we know. I'll just leave it like that. My life is going to completely change in the next month. I know this. Everyone around me knows this. But I don't know how to deal with this, to be honest with you. And I've been doing this for a long time. Your abortion friends are not okay. Give us a little time. Give us a little space. Give us support.
Go to Costco and get a handle of Jack Daniels and give it to your favorite abortion activist.
Yes, that's actually good advice, son, because I have been drinking on this cup since I got home. And yes, your abortion friends are not okay right now. Some of us are looking for passenger vans and how we can get a pilot's license. And if you would have told us like 3 months ago that we'd be looking at how to get your pilot's license and how to get an airplane. You'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? But this is our lives now because we see what's coming. We've seen what's coming. We know what's coming. And it's happening. So you better get ready. Because even if you live in a blue state, it's coming for you next.
So if anyone listening has their pilot's license and or can drive a passenger bus, CDL air brakes, passenger license, and you are a fan, or you're for access to reproductive health care, hit up your local abortion fund because they probably need you.
Hit up your local abortion fund. Hit me up. If you're not in my state, I will tell you where to go because all your abortion friends know each other. I hate to tell you this, but all your abortion friends know each other. Because this is a seismic shift that I don't think people are prepared for. I just really don't think I don't think people understand what's coming. And it will take what's coming for people to understand. As weird and cryptic as that sounds, it's just the truth. I mean, it's the way it's going to be.
And
but it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay. And one last thing I've been hollering about on TikTok with our friends at Queer Satanic is do not donate to the Satanic Temple. They are not going to save your abortion rights. They have lost every case. Abortion funds have told you not to do this. Do not give them money. They are not going to help you with your reproductive rights. So please do not give money to the Satanic Temple. Give money to abortion funds instead.
Exactly. I'm going to out myself. I am not Christian. Please do not give to the Satanic Temple. It just do it. Look up on National Network of Abortion Funds who your local abortion fund is and give to them.
That's it.
Ty, were you trying to say something?
Yeah, Tommy, what's up? Can you say something? Hail Satan.
Oh yeah, besides Hail Satan. No. Oh, I did locate my my plan B, and it does not say that anywhere on the back of this box, and I'm really fucking pissed now. Like I don't know what to do with my life. I'm just gonna throw it all away. It's all a lie.
It doesn't say anything about the weight thing on the box.
No, I'll show you. It says nothing. Oh, you can't see that.
This is bright white.
God, is that you? I didn't mean the Satan thing. Thing.
Oh, jeez. The Catholic came out in you real fast, didn't it?
Madre de Dios. You know what it Man,
if I haven't just spent the last year and a half talking about the Catholic Church on this fucking show.
I did. You'll be proud. I did make a TikTok slamming them and talking about how they are not. They've always been against abortion, and they suck.
Tommy, I believe you. You do not need to hold this shaky.
Like a makeup, like a beauty guru with his hold it up to the camera.
As you can see, this box does not have the weight limit printed on it.
Tommy, read us the entire back.
With really with twee ukulele music in the background.
I'm gonna send it to you guys.
What brand is it, Tommy?
We'll make it the show. We'll make it the picture.
It says My Way. Lavandra Stroll.
Lavandra Stroll is the chemical name.
Yeah.
But I am not familiar with My Way product.
It's called Cheaper Than Plan B.
Tommy got the bootleg version. Tommy got the fucking bootleg.
I got you. Might.
It is not bootleg.
The chemical still doesn't stop.
I know.
Look, you try paying for Plan B. That shit is fucking expensive. It's literally like.
We just established that I paid for it twice.
I put my cell phone between my legs, hoping that has done something for the past 20 years.
I'm not taking any chance.
Okay, Tommy. I have the WebMD for My Way.
Okay.
Okay, this medication may not work well in women over a certain weight, for example, greater than 164 pounds or.
But why don't they put that on the fucking box?
I agree with you, but I'm just saying anybody else who might have this version of the pill, it's the same problem. It's the same problem as Plan B. If you're over 164 pounds or 74 kilograms, you're going to need more than one.
Tommy, you may have saved some lives
unless
tonight.
unless it is specifically called Ella, ELLA. You have to take 2. Ella is the only emergency contraception that is approved for taking 1 tablet if you are over 165 pounds.
See how much this costs.
Tommy's gonna be up in front of Congress. this is a
Slams it
fucking
down on
travesty.
This is gonna be a real bad review on some website somewhere.
I'm pissed. I'm fucking
Tommy's gonna pull a fucking Khrushchev, take his shoe off, and start banging it on the table. How fucking dare you?
Tommy, you want me to come by and
slim
pick you up? We'll
privileged
start a
asshole.
riot.
I'm
This hasn't
mad.
been decades of women and other people who would have to take this pill saying, what the fuck? They haven't formulated this for anybody over 164 pounds, which isn't that heavy, y'all. Like,
Yeah,
it's
really
not
No,
is.
heavy.
it's not. No, no.
I haven't been 165 pounds since like middle school. It's fucking wild.
It's it's upsetting that like this is a thing and it's not even on the fucking box. It's not even on the fucking box. How
What's
are
in the
people
box?
supposed to
I
know?
wonder, does
It's not
Do you
the box.
does
What's
the
in the
box have a
box?
leaflet on the inside?
Huh?
Does the box have a leaflet? Okay, this is gonna
No,
be
there's
dumb
no-
because if it
hold
does
on,
have a leaflet on the inside,
wait,
that doesn't
hold
help
on.
anybody who's buying it in a store with information
Oh
from
wait,
the box.
there
Oh,
is
they hit-
there is
they
a
hit it.
leaflet. There is a leaflet.
They
Hold
hid
on,
it from
hold
you.
on.
Oh,
They
there
hid it
is a
from you.
leaflet.
Oh shit!
Hold on, hold
Oh,
on.
Big reveal
stand
coming
by.
up.
Big.
The fine print.
So if Tommy ever
It's like
hands this
sped
box
up.
to somebody who might need it in his house, he'd be like, "Why is it open?"
Because I'm protecting you. Get on this scale right now and tell me how much you weigh.
It's okay,
166
Tommy. You can
pounds.
call me.
Do some jumping
You can call me
jacks.
for an excuse.
Jeez.
It's still I have not seen anything yet. Nothing yet. Nothing about weight limits or anything. No, it's not on here. It's so fucked up. Like, how can you? Like, this should be illegal. This should be straight up illegal. This is so fucked. Like, it is nowhere on anything. It just gives you a hotline number if you have any questions. But
You
how are
should
you
call
supposed
it-
to know
And
you?
you-
Please
are
call the
right.
hotline. Please call the hotline and tell them.
Call the hotline on the After Dark.
We can do it right now. Hold on.
No, we can't.
No. We're doing after dark. No, do it
Do not
tomorrow.
call this number. Don't waste our time.
Call them on stream tomorrow.
Yeah. So on average, for an average height woman, cis woman in the United States, so if you're around 5'5", 5'6", 165 pounds tends to correspond, which is not always, but it tends to correspond with about a size large or a 12-14. So this is not
So
even
normal.
like
And that's your average woman in the United States.
right.
It is. It's your average woman in the United States. And it is, Tommy, I get your anger. I've just sat with my anger for years and years and years, and it doesn't bother me anymore. That's why I spread what I spread when I say, hey, you're over 165, you need to pay attention. Because
This is-
it makes me feel angry because it shouldn't be that way.
It
It should
shouldn't.
not be that way.
It should at
This is-
least be on the box. If you're not going to teach me this shit in school, at least put it on the fucking box.
This is
On the
Tommy's Sith change. This is when he joins the dark side.
I'm really mad because
Lightning's gonna shoot from his hands.
Like-
How dare you?
I'm just going back in my mind, like, I don't know. It's really upsetting that I've been using this wrong my entire life. Like, it's just been fucking wrong.
I
So-
can completely sympathize because you have no idea, as a person who works inside the clinic as well. Many people I see say, I took Plan B, but it didn't work. And my first question is, baby, how much do you weigh? And 99% of the time, it's over 165.
So I want to make sure that I have full information when it comes to this, because somebody who might not know their exact weight, or maybe they're just going off of what they think is average in the United States, the historical clothing size, an average clothing size for an average. So we're going to assume this is probably a 5'4" to 5'6" white woman in the United States for a very long time was reported as a 12. By the 80s, it was a 14. By now, we're at a 16, sometimes an 18. That's the average size of bought women's clothing in the United States. So the average size woman, depending on their proportions and everything, probably weighs more than that pill is used for.
You
8
don't
out
have
of
to
10
use two because no
people
one's gonna want to have.
who, yeah, 8 out of 10 people who had the ability to get pregnant are probably over that weight. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I do want to say we are a pro big people podcast. I personally do not like skinny people. I think they were a bane to our existence, and we are an anti-skinny pro fat podcast
I agree. BBW is for life.
for life. Right on, brother.
That's right.
Dad
we
bod,
love you no
dad
what
bod.
matter size you are, and that's fine.
Yeah.
No, those skinny
I'm gonna-
motherfuckers.
No, it
can
does.
get the
It
fuck
matters.
out.
It matters.
I'm gonna
BBW.
say this as somebody who's been doing like
I am not a
fat
skinny
people writing
motherfucker.
for a long time. It's even then it's gonna be like, but this is a body positive. All sizes are good sizes. However, if you come at me with that skinny shaming is as bad as fat shaming, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, get out of here.
I always
I
wanted a
understand.
pair of
I
Dickie
get it.
shorts, and my legs were too big. I wanted Dickie shorts when they were popular. if you're a man and you don't have if you're pleasantly plump and you've never had to continuously pull out the bottom of your shirt so it fits comfortably around your stomach,
Glad you
you
went
don't fucking know my pain. Anyway.
Oh, my goodness gracious. And that's where we've gotten on the abortion discourse.
Abortion
It's just
good.
anger and bitterness.
abortion good, skinny people bad.
Tommy's just lost his damn mind.
Tommy lost
over
his
the- I am
goddamn
so
mind.
sorry. I thought people knew this because this is something that I
No.
have seen. So like I don't know if it's
It's
just because I'm
something that-
around if I'm around other people that can get pregnant, so this information is just shared widely
Yes,
in those kinds of
It
areas.
is.
But
And I thought
it
like
is.
and I feel like I'm a well-informed person, but obviously fucking not because I've been fucking this shit up for like the past. Oh no, God, it's
Tommy,
so demoralizing.
it's okay,
I don't
Tommy.
know.
Tommy, I will leave 2 packs of Plan B out for you on the porch of the power.
All right.
she's the fairy, the Plan B fairy. She's visiting.
Wait, is this the
I am
Ella or the
Plan B
Lavondra
fairy.
show? Is this the one I should do 2 of or the one? Which one?
It's the one you should do 2
2.
of.
Okay, I just gotta
because
keep a mental note because
that's-
they don't put it on the box.
Tommy, write it down. You're not gonna
Right.
remember this. Write it
Tape
down.
the boxes together once you get them.
Yeah,
Tommy, just call me, okay? But another thing that's going to make you angrier is Ella is more expensive than Lavondra.
I can
Those
imagine.
motherfuckers.
I can imagine. I can only imagine.
Your average Plan B, if you buy it over the counter, like you walk into I'm not going to say their name here, but a popular pharmacy in the Southeast, you walk in the doors, you're looking at $50 a pill for Plan B. Lavondrastrel,
Yeah.
not Ella. Ella, you're looking at over $100.
Are you serious? Are you
What the-
serious?
Shit.
Oh my! I'm just chopping my dick
I
off.
cannot-
I'm going full eunuch. I'm done.
Seriously,
Tommy,
it is-
we'll plan this. I'll get my tubal ligation done, and you can have
I just
you
chop,
can get
chop
your
it
thing
right
done,
off.
and we can just have a call.
we could make an episode of it.
I don't have.
Tommy and I get vasectomies. Kai gets her tubes tied, and we'll just
And then I
fucking-
get scooped out like a pumpkin. Take all of it. I don't need any of it. Is that violent imagery? I'm sorry.
Oh my
Warning for that.
God.
Just take it all. I don't need any of it.
Fucking Mark
My
just lifts up their shirt.
my
It's a fucking
endocrinologist-
jack-o'-lantern.
is it like a mean face or is it the smiling one?
It's
With, like, the
obviously
butt
a mean,
teeth?
it's a
Mean face,
it's
obviously.
a mean,
It's a mean
face.
face.
The triangle
Cool.
mouth. That's what it is.
That's something that's related. When I went to my endocrinologist, she asked me if I wanted she stressed more about the complications of me trying to get pregnant being trans than how to actually take my medicine. So it's
Oh
also,
my.
yeah, she was like, do you want kids? No, I don't. Do you want to freeze your eggs? No, I don't want kids. And then just, well, you can still get pregnant. I know that. And it's just, I think maybe a
It's like
quarter
some
of
people
my
don't
appointment.
understand. Right.
Yeah.
And some people don't understand us. I am a person who does not want to be pregnant and has never wanted to be pregnant. And it's like, if you're straight, it's okay if you don't want to be pregnant. But if you fall out of that CIS, they don't know how to deal with you. And that's sad. Everyone deserves proper reproductive health care. Period.
So just a note, just in case, because I won't name names, but I talked to someone recently, and they did not know that being on HRT as a someone who is going from female to male, testosterone does not stop you from getting pregnant. Just for the record.
It does not.
Yeah, Nelson. We keep trying to tell you that.
Why did you assume it was Nelson? I was just being vague. You do still have to take birth control. They have special I think they give you progesterone. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a doctor. Instead of whatever else it is they give you. So it doesn't also raise your it doesn't cancel out your testosterone. They give you something that works with it. So that's important to note, just in case your
Right.
OBGYN doesn't know. They could be prescribing you something that works against your testosterone
Correct.
and be wasting your time.
And I will leave
your
that to
money.
the doctor. So, right. But you are exactly correct on that. Usually people who are on HRT with testosterone are going to get a mini pill, which is a very low dose of hormones to prevent fertilization. And I'm not a doctor, so I'll let you talk to your doctors about that. But it is something that trans people need to be aware of.
If you're gonna be on that one, you
Yay.
and I gotta have a talk afterwards about that because I got stories.
Yeah, and
Uh-oh.
of course with
It sucked
anything
while
with
I was on
healthcare-
it, but
with healthcare, as someone who the healthcare system is not designed for, you do have to advocate for yourself and make sure that your doctors are aware of this. Talk to your doctor, but please also be aware of things just in case. Because they probably do not know if they're just regular, if they're not a specialist, they will not even think about it.
Right. And if you are a trans person and you need that type of health care, reach out to your local LGBTQ org. They will have doctors that they know that are familiar with those things and can help you in the best way possible.
Yay.
Tommy looks like a beaten man.
Tommy's been someone that's been like told a truth. I don't know. It's like I've
Tommy
seen
had the
face of
exact same
God.
look as Tony Montana at the end of fucking
Just sitting there, his fucking ring of cocaine is. Hey, ma. Hey, yo. What the fuck? They tell me.
Very
It's
upset.
all right, Tommy.
I'm
Just message me when this is over.
I will. I need
First, you get the plan B. First, you get the money, then you get the plan B. All right, Mia. Do you have any last thing you want to say before we do the outro and call tonight? Do you have you want to plug anything? Anything you want to say? Last word.
Even if abortion is banned in Alabama, the powerhouse will remain. I don't know if the clinic will be open. It's one of those things where it's touch and go. But regardless, if you're in Alabama or any of the other southern states surrounding Alabama, the powerhouse will be able to tell you what to do and how to get to the care you need. We will always be there, even if abortion is banned. So we got your back. And if we can't help you in Alabama, we will know the organizations throughout the Southeast and actually throughout most of the United States where we can help you. Please do not hesitate to reach out to us. You can find us on social media, Powerhouse MGM, which is Powerhouse Montgomery or Powerhouse Alabama. You can look at our website, powerhousealabama.org. We are here for you. We've done this work for a long time. We know these systems. We know how to navigate these systems. And we will find you the best compassionate abortion care that you need, period.
Yay. Thank you, Mia, for everything you do. Stay on until after we hit the not recording button because I want to make sure nothing gets lost. But here's the outro. At Dixieland, the proletariat, we believe the South will rise again, but this time for the right reasons, those being worker-owned means of production, decolonization, and self-determination for all oppressed peoples. Make sure to click on our link tree in the show notes to find all of our social media. And don't forget, every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and fuck you Mountain Time, you'll find us in Uncle Tommy's Twitch cabin, where we stream, react content, play games with our fans. We are coming to you from the birthplace of civil rights movement, Montgomery, Alabama, as well as sweet Georgia and jolly old England. We'd also like to recognize we're recording on land that rightfully belongs to the Muskogee and Creek nations. As always, Nelson here with the podcast. Mia, thank you so much for coming on. Everyone check out the back log of episodes we've had with Mia, and you're doing God's work.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna put a little Appalachian twist on it. I came up with something. You ready?
Okay, here we go.
You ready?
Oh.
You ready? Some hill people lingo, as Tommy likes to call it.
Get out the rattlesnakes.
If I don't see y'all before then, tell your mom and them that I said hello.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
I didn't feel good taking Tyler's thing.
real close to doing it. Y'all come back now. You hear?
Y'all come back now.
Damn.
Just hold the snakes.
Hey, your
End the
mom and
fucking
them say,
show.
hey.
Tell your mom and them.
Oh, God damn it, Tommy. End the fucking show.
Hey, Doc, the recording is stop.
No, we gotta stop recording.
End the show so that Mia can go sleep.